After 2 full seasons of lies, deception, and one woman risking everything for justice, Matlock finally delivered the moment fans have been waiting for. Mattie's war against Senior and the Wellbrexa cover-up has officially reached its end. But the shocking part is that this finale was never only about exposing corruption. It became about identity, sacrifice, forgiveness, and whether revenge is truly worth it. Because by the end of this explosive 2-part finale, arrests are made, betrayals are exposed, and Mattie is forced to decide one final thing. Should Madeline Kingston come back, or should Mattie Matlock live on? Let's break down everything that happened in the Matlock Season 2 finale, the hidden meanings behind the ending, and what it means for Season 3. The finale opens with one of the smartest scenes the show has ever done. Mattie is riding a bus late at night when suddenly the woman next to her recognizes her. Then she sees newspapers with her face everywhere. Reporters swarm her. Her fake identity is exposed. She runs. Then she wakes up. At first, it feels like a simple nightmare scene, but it means much more. This dream represents Mattie's greatest fear. Not prison, not losing the case, not Senior winning. Her biggest fear is losing Mattie Matlock, because over 2 seasons, this fake identity became real in a strange way. She laughed again. She made friends again. She found purpose again after Ellie's death. Madeline Kingston created Mattie as a disguise, but Mattie became the version of herself she actually needed. That's why this finale is not just about defeating Senior. It's about whether Mattie herself survives the war. The Wellbrexa case started as corporate corruption, a dangerous drug, suppressed evidence, innocent people harmed. But by Season 2, the case became something much bigger. It became a symbol of everything broken inside elite law firms. Greed over morality, power over truth, people like Senior using the legal system as protection. That's why fans connected with this story so strongly. Mattie wasn't chasing money or fame, she was chasing accountability. And that gave the entire storyline emotional weight. One of the biggest twists in the finale is that Senior was never confused and never mentally slipping. He was faking weakness the entire time. That reveal changes every previous scene, every pause, every forgetful moment, every time people underestimated him. It was all strategy. And honestly, it fits his character perfectly. Senior never fights directly, he fights through perception. He lets people think he's vulnerable while controlling everything behind the curtain. Even when everyone thought they had him trapped, he was still ahead of them. While Mattie gets most of the spotlight, Olympia quietly became the real hero of this finale. She could have protected herself. She could have chosen her career. She could have stayed silent. Instead, she chose justice. She chose Mattie. And that decision matters because unlike Mattie, Olympia still had everything to lose in the present. Reputation, future opportunities, position. Yet she still stood beside her. That's why their partnership works so well. Mattie brings emotion and fire. Olympia brings precision and control. Together they became stronger than Senior expected. One of the deepest moments in the finale happens when Mattie begins questioning everything. After chasing revenge for so long, she starts asking herself what happens if winning changes nothing. Ellie won't come back. The pain won't disappear. The emptiness remains. That realization feels brutally honest. A lot of stories pretend justice automatically heals grief. This show knew better. Mattie starts seeing that her obsession may destroy the life she accidentally rebuilt. She has friends now, purpose now, joy now, and if she keeps fighting only through anger, she may lose all of it. That becomes the emotional heart of the finale. Not whether Senior gets caught, but whether Mattie can let go. Then came another huge twist. Eva knew far more than expected. She hated Senior, but she was also trapped inside the same corrupt system. That makes her character interesting because she isn't simply evil. She's compromised. She stayed silent because if Senior falls, her own choices become exposed too. And that reflects how real corruption often works. Not through obvious villains, but through people convincing themselves they had no choice. Now, let's talk about how Senior was finally defeated. Senior believed he had outsmarted everyone. When Julian wore a wire, Senior discovered it and ripped it off. For a moment, it looked like another escape. But Julian's wire was only the distraction. Mattie had secretly planted another recording device on Senior himself. So while Senior thought he had won, he was confessing directly into the real bug. That ending works perfectly because Senior is destroyed by his own biggest flaw, arrogance. He always assumed everyone else was less clever than him. He assumed Julian was the obvious threat. He never considered Mattie had already adjusted the plan. Julian also gets one of the strongest arcs in the finale. For most of the season, he lived under his father's shadow, torn between loyalty and conscience. But in the end, he chooses truth, even knowing he may be arrested too. That matters because redemption should cost something. Julian risks his career, family legacy, and freedom. And when he tells Senior worth it after the arrests, that one line says everything. For the first time in his life, Julian acted like his own man, not Senior's son, not the heir to the firm, just someone choosing right over comfort. The title Matty Matlock also carries deeper meaning, because the biggest question of the finale wasn't who goes to jail, it was who she is now. Madeline Kingston created Matty as a mask, but sometimes masks reveal the truth. As Matty, she became warmer, freer, and more alive. Edwin even notices she laughs the way she used to before grief consumed her. That scene is powerful because grief can freeze people in time. Matty stopped living after Ellie died, but by pretending to be someone else, she slowly found herself again. That's why the ending lands emotionally. Winning the case matters, but rediscovering herself matters more. Then came the final setup for season 3. Sarah arrives, Emmeline is there. The door opens. Edwin answers, and it appears Maddie's real identity may now be revealed more widely than ever. That creates huge possibilities moving forward. A new law firm with Olympia feels likely now that the old structure is collapsing. Public exposure could change everything and make it impossible for Matty to hide anymore. Sarah may feel betrayed after learning the truth, creating conflict. And even with Senior gone, corruption rarely ends with one arrest. Someone new could rise next season. That's why this finale worked better than most. It gave viewers plot satisfaction because Senior finally lost. It gave emotional closure because Matty confronted grief and revenge. And it gave future momentum because season 3 feels full of possibilities. The Matlock season 2 finale wasn't just a legal victory. It was the story of a woman who entered a law firm to avenge her daughter and accidentally found herself again. Senior represented corruption, but he also represented the anger Matty had carried for years. Defeating him meant more than arrests, it meant release. And now, for the first time, Matty's future may no longer be driven by pain. It may be driven by purpose. That's why this ending feels so powerful. Because after 2 seasons of pretending, Matty may finally become her truest self. What did you think of the Matlock season 2 finale? Did Senior deserve worse? Can Sarah forgive Matty? And should season 3 focus on a new law firm? Drop your theories below and don't forget to subscribe for more deep TV breakdowns like this.